Hello, this is Brooks Lindsay, the founder and editor of Debatepedia.org. I'm going to go over today a pretty cool topic on banning caffeinated alcohol drinks. The most prominent one you've probably heard about is the Four Loko ban instituted by the FDA on November 13, 2010. And this was because Four Loko contained basically the equivalent of 3 cups of coffee, 2 to 3 cups of coffee, and 4 to 5 beers. It was 14% alcohol by volume. That's similar to some wines. This is in a 24-ounce can that costs a total of $3. So a lot of young kids, especially college students, have been buying it, binge drinking, getting extremely drunk, and getting sent to the hospital. So I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons here. Caffeinated alcohol drinks are generally unsafe, is what many people say, including Michigan's Liquor Control Commission. So they say, quote, "It poses a serious health and safety risk to American youth, and it presents a threat to the public health and safety." So that's kind of the overarching framework here. Why would that be the case? So caffeinated alcohol drinks mask the effects of alcohol. So what typically happens when you get drunk is A, extremely drunk, A, you throw up, or B, maybe you pass out. But what happens when you introduce caffeine is that it suppresses that nausea feeling so that maybe you don't throw up, or you're so amped up on caffeine that you don't pass out. So these kind of natural defenses against alcohol poisoning are suppressed when you're high on caffeine. And so that's why some of these alcohol poisoning incidents have been being reported. And this is why this debate's been enlivened, is because you're actually having on some campuses like the University of San Francisco 12 hospitalizations of students within, I think it was the framework, within the time frame of like a year. So caffeinated alcohol drinks have actually harmed lives and communities, is what we would say. And there's not enough evidence that caffeinated alcohol drinks are actually safe. So again, the Michigan Liquor Control Commission says, the chairwoman said, quote, "The commission's concern for health, safety, and welfare of Michigan citizens and the fact that there is not enough research to validate that these products are safe for consumption has made me believe that until further research is done by the FDA, they should no longer be in Michigan shelves, on Michigan shelves." So, if there is any risk or concern of these safety hazards, she believes that there's legitimate cause to just pull from the shelf before, until more research is done. But others say that too few have actually died from Four Loko. This is the New Hampshire magazine editorial, November 12, 2010, quote, "Banning Four Loko at any level, whether across campus or across the state, is a gross overreaction. First of all, of the millions of students enrolled in institutions of higher education, an incredibly small percentage has been hospitalized after consuming the beverage. Yes, a few have died. Unfortunately, college students die from alcohol poisoning every year. That would be happening without Four Loko. Combining caffeine and alcohol is nothing new. So yes, you can have, many different alcohol beverages like Red Bull and vodka. You can have a vodka or Irish coffee. There's nothing really all that new about it, arguably. Kids have been getting drunk for years. Four Loko is nothing new. So binge drinking and alcohol poisoning, deaths by alcohol, rowdy incidents, date rape, domestic violence, all of that stuff is tied to alcohol, and kids have been doing it for years. So why are we unfairly discriminating against Four Loko is what the argument is all about. Combination of caffeine and alcohol is not inherently unsafe. So yeah, if you're having a cup of coffee and then a glass of wine, that's allowed. That combination is not inherently unsafe. One person says that two legal actions does not equal an illegal action. Both of these actions, caffeine consumption and alcohol consumption, are legal. Why in one beverage would they be illegal? And a bottle of liquor is just as unsafe as Four Loko. So if you're talking about a huge, fifth of rum, that's going to mess somebody up much worse than just one can of Four Loko, right? But, Four Loko makes abuse far too easy, is what many people say. So at the end of a quote from the Yakima Herald Republic and the Yakimas in Washington State, It says, and the cost is a mere $2.5 a can. Compare that to your favorite Chardonnay or hard liquor of choice, or even a 6-pack of beer. Four Loko is easily available at your local convenience store. Yes, alcohol of any sort can be abused, whether a wine tasting or a hops festival, but the combination of all of the above simply makes it too easy. Sorry, cuz this is different. So this is a different class, is what this person is saying, because it's combining caffeine, high amounts of it, plus high amounts of alcohol in a 24-ounce can for $3. This combination makes it unique. But then these other people say, the opponents of the ban, one can consume caffeinated alcohol drinks responsibly. You know, if you were to just have one of these Four Lokos, you definitely would not be hospitalized. Maybe you even have a very exciting night because you're elevated, you know, you're pretty drunk and loose. Maybe that's a good thing. Banning caffeine alcohol drinks undermines personal responsibility. Shouldn't we be relying on individuals to be making these choices, not the government be dictating it? And banning caffeine alcohol drinks expands the government in our lives. So many Tea Partiers might be especially offended by this concept of kind of a nanny state, big brother, we're not going to let you harm yourself by drinking Four Loko. No, why don't we rely on somebody's individual responsibility to make that choice? Plus, aren't there bigger priorities than Four Loko? New York Senator Chuck Schumer has been concentrating on this issue and been getting a lot of criticism for it. One says, why are you doing this? Quote, try mounting a campaign against the Bush tax cuts, Mr. Schumer. Actually make progress against repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And then others say, you know, this is kind of similar to this smoking issue. If we're not going to be banning smoking, then why would we ban something like Four Loko? Smoking is harmful for you. But smoking is very different. Four Loko has an immediate potential to put you in a hospital. It has an immediate potential to kill you. It has an immediate potential to jeopardize the public safety if you become rowdy and crazy, drunk, and start a fight, or maybe, you know, something worse than that. You know, plenty of possibilities. So maybe it's unique, very different than smoking for sure. Anyway, there are many pros and cons. I hope you guys take a look on Debatepedia's article. It is debate:"ban on caffeinated alcohol drinks," and this is at debatepedia.org. Take care.